Today we're going to make this fun little book page folder that you can include in your journals for additional journaling space. They're super easy to make. The only thing that takes time to do is letting the glue dry, so you can sew if you want to. But let me show you how we're going to make this. So all you need is some book page. It doesn't matter what size it is. Whatever size your book page is what your folder is going to end up being. I will measure my prototype. It is almost 3 3/4 inches wide and 5 1/8 inches tall. It doesn't really matter. Only thing you want to keep in mind is if you want to put it in a pocket or something like that in your journal, that it's small enough to tuck in. Otherwise, it can just be clipped to a page. So I have an old vintage book page from my old Reader's Digest. I'm going to reinforce it with just some 65-pound cardstock, and then I'm going to line the inside with this tea-dyed paper to have a good writing space. All right, so let me go ahead and get this glued down. Just decide which side of the page you want showing. And guys, I am not reinventing the wheel. I've seen lots of people do very similar things on YouTube, but maybe this is the first time you're seeing it. Okay, so then we want to get our paper trimmer or our scissors, whatever you're comfortable with. I can't cut straight with scissors, so I'm going to use my trimmer. Now, you can leave this ratty edge if you want to. I'm going to trim mine down just because it's going to be easier. All right. Now we want to back it with our tea-dyed paper. So I'm going to glue on here. I'm going to be sewing around the edges. You don't have to. If you choose not to sew, then make sure you get a good amount of glue around those edges so that it doesn't pop up. And then we're going to trim this around the edges. I shouldn't. See, this is what happens when you try to do this and the glue is still wet. So don't do as I'm doing. Actually, I'm going to let that dry the rest of the way. And by the magic of video, I have prepared one of these in advance and let it dry very good. But this is old book page, and it cracked when I folded it down the spine. And that's perfectly okay, because on this one, it did the same thing. And I have some of this Tim Holtz, it looks like old leather. It's cloth tape, and it's perfect for something like this. So I'm going to go ahead and put some of that down on my spine just to reinforce that. It's a good idea if you line this up with a line so you can sort of tell that you're hitting that spine in the center. go. I think that's pretty good. It doesn't have to be perfect, but get it as close as you can. Okay. And this has pretty good sticking, but if you wanted to put some extra glue on it, you could. Now on this one, I have lined with coffee dyed lined paper. I don't know if you can see that or not. Okay. So let's fold that down and give it a good burnish. And then I'm going to ink mine. Again, you don't have to do that. And I am using Scorched Timber. Okay, so there's our base. And I did say I had made this a while ago, so it is dry now. So I'm going to go to my sewing machine and I'm going to stitch all the way around the outer edge, but I'm not going to stitch over top of that. This one I put this on before I did the stitching, and I should have done it the other way around. Up to you. Do whatever makes you happy. So I'm going to go stitch around this and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've sewn all the way around the outer edge. If you want, you can run your bone folder over the bobbin side of the stitching, just make them lay down a little bit flatter. And it helps to sort of minimize those needle holes as well. Okay. Try to get this to lay just a little bit flatter. Okay, so on this one, I have a sticker, a sentiment, and some gems. I don't know what to call them, and then a tab. So I have already pre-picked out some scraps and cut my tabs out of those. Just going to ink those, and we'll get that glued down. And you can put this anywhere on the folder that you want to. I'm going to put mine about right there. And then I picked out this little floral sticker. And these are little vellum stickers, so you can see through them. I do trim them out because they have a big margin around them, and I don't like that, so I trim them down just a little bit. So that looks nice. All right, and then for the sentiment, this is at one of those Tim Holtz things. I'm going to put some extra glue on there. And it says, collect beautiful moments. And I'm just going to stick that right across that flower stem. And then let's get our little piece of bling here. Okay. You could put this anywhere on the folder that you want. I'm just choosing to put mine down here. I also found that these really old book pages that sometimes glue doesn't work so well on it. Takes a few extra minutes for it to grab hold. And on the inside of the folder, I just put a little sticker, another little mushroom to go with the front. So we're going to open this up, and on the inside, I have picked another little red flower out of a sticker book that I have, and I'm just going to stick that right down in the corner. So there we have it. Super easy and quick to make. Like I said, the only thing you have to do is let the glue dry if you choose to sew around this. Actually best to let it dry anyway before you start manipulating the paper. I did round the corners because I think that looks nicer. Okay, there's the back. And then you can just tuck these away. These are neutral. To me, they're neutral. But you can decorate these to match the theme of whatever journal you're working on. Super, super easy and fun to make. You can mass make them as well. But I'm going to stick these in my stash, and I'm sure I will find a very good use for them. If you have any questions about anything you saw me do, you know what to do. Leave a question in the comment below. If you are not already subscribed, I hope you will consider doing that. I would appreciate it very, very much. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.